Hello, JWJ readers. I'm back. Judith is back, and I am going into video 3. I only have 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to knock this out, okay? So I got a question. I told you I was accepting relationship questions. This is one of the questions I received. Dear Judith, I read your blog, and it's hard to believe that you are a virgin at your age. Part of me wants to tell you to get your life, in the words of Tamar from the Braxtons, and let it go. So I guess she's telling me to let my virginity go, okay? But the other part of me knows that it's your decision, so to each her own. My name is blank, and I could not imagine my life without sex. If you were going to give me advice about being in many sexual relationships, what would it be? Wow. Okay. I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to try to do it. Anybody that sends me a question, just FYI, I'm going to do it without judgment and without trying to, anything I say to you, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but anybody that logs into www.journeywithjudith.com, you ask for my opinion. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my opinion. Okay, so let's start with the letter. She says, if you were going to give me advice about being in many sexual relationships, what would it be? First and foremost, my most important advice is to please, please, please protect yourself. First, protect your health, protect your soul and your emotions, as best you can. In terms of your health, you got to remember that there are STDs and that there are AIDS, HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, herpes, you name it, tons of sexual diseases that I don't want you to catch. And you got to remember that when you have sex with one person, you're also having sex with everyone that one person had sex with. So if that one person you had sex with 6 other people, then you're having sex with that person and 6 other people. So there's a formula that says whenever you have sex with one person, multiply that times 2, and then multiply 2 times however many people they had sex with. Okay, long story. So that's the first thing I want you to protect. Protect your health at all costs. I know some of you will say, girl, that ooey feel good. But it's not worth it. Okay? It's not worth it. All right. Second thing I want you to do is, that I would do, not want you to do, you can do it or not, your business, is to take time away from having sex. Okay? And I want you, during that time that you don't have sex, it could be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and you can become a virgin. Okay? It's never too late to become a virgin. But at any rate, if you don't want to become a virgin, take time off from having sex and ask yourself, why? Why do I keep needing all these relationships? What is missing inside of me that makes me yearn for these relationships with different men or different people? This could be for a man, this response could be for a man or a woman. So figure out what that is. That's going to take deep, deep soul searching. And this vow of celibacy is not going to be easy, especially without a spiritual foundation. So while you're taking this journey through celibacy, you have to, maybe you could journal. That's what I would do. You can journal, in a little diary, or you can do it on a computer or online diary, or you can do videos and, save this stuff in really private places and talk about your journey without having sex. Maybe some of you can't go months. Maybe you can only go weeks. Well, go a week or 2. If the person that's you're in a relationship with is not your husband or wife, then relax from sex and figure out what's going on inside of you. All of us have baggage that sometimes we carry from our childhood. It could be molestation. It could be mother issues, father issues, abandonment issues. Whatever those issues that you carry are, we have to take the time to address them, okay? Because that could be causing the promiscuity. I'm going to go from this man to that man. And then, all the other problems that come along with going from guy to guy to guy, where you're like, oh, I can't believe I messed up and had a baby with that sperm donor. Really? Really? I mean, come on. Come on. We have to take responsibility for what we do. Okay? That's what I would do. And we have to say, you know what? Why am I doing this? Why do I keep going from guy to guy? You know? Why can't I wait until, someone has found the jewel and the diamond that I am, has found me to be a diamond and says, you know what? I just want to marry you. And takes that time to take it to the next level and not just use your body and abuse your emotions. You know what I mean? So that's the second thing. Get to self. And lastly, I would say back to you, like you said in your letter as a joke, I would say get your life, take control of your life in a way that honors you and honors, to me, this whole celibacy journey won't happen or will be very difficult unless you have a spiritual foundation. So I would suggest finding God, saying a prayer through this celibacy journey. For example, prayer is just as simple as me talking to you, like I'm talking to you now. You can say, day 1, celibacy. I'm enraged. I'm angry. And maybe that's all you say. Now, after you write that entry in your diary, then you say a prayer and just say, God, I'm angry. I don't know why. Help me. That's your prayer for that day. That's your journal for that day. Do that for 30 days or more, however long you can do it, and you'll notice you'll begin to discover things about yourself you had no clue that was there, that you had no clue that you could do, So let's dig deeper and let's try. So if you have any questions, any other questions, any relationship questions you want to talk about, the movie Think Like a Man is huge and people are talking about it. But I had a couple of my friends ask me to put my perspective in it because everybody knows, that I'm a preacher's kid and, a missionary's daughter. And I wanted to give another perspective because I think we all need to dialogue. This is not about, oh, you're right, whatever. You don't have to agree with me a day in your life, but I'm asking you to hear me out. And if you do agree with the video, then send the video to young girls and young boys and to women, young ladies and women, everybody. Because first of all, we need to get a handle on, having a whole lot of sexual partners, for health reasons. Because is sex really worth dying for? I mean, you gotta ask yourself. You gotta stop. Let's stop doing so much and start thinking, and start talking and start caring about each other. So I'm going to end this with just thanking you guys for tuning in. I dedicate this first relationship vlog to my dad. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. Rest in peace. And I'm going to end on the note that my parents, especially my dad, always said to me, I'm telling you the truth because I love you enough. I love you enough to tell you the truth. Have a good night.